Sunscreen needs to be applied only on the face.
If you want your complexion to be different on the face and other parts of the body, of course only on the face.
Of course. People say that you do not need a sunscreen, when you're indoors, you're at home. Is that true? You don't need a sunscreen when you're at home.
This is a myth. You need a sunscreen even if you're indoors, because it's not only sun, it's also the screen,
Yeah.
right? So screen time is so much for the people now, and their visible light and your infrared. So
Okay.
you need sunscreen even if you're indoors.
Welcome everyone on our today's episode of #SunscreenMust podcast, which is all about protecting your skin and spreading the use of sunscreen year round. Sunscreen is an absolute essential no matter what time of the year it is. But with summer season going on, it is the best time to refamiliarize ourselves with sun safety practices. So throughout the episode, today we will be discussing the importance of sunscreen as well as the different types of sunscreen and which one is the best for your skin type. Today we will be debunking some common sunscreen myths and will be telling you the correct way to apply your sunscreen properly. Today, to educate us more on why sunscreen is important throughout the year, but not only in summer season, we have with us renowned dermatologist and aesthetic physician, Dr. Rashmi Sharma from Fortis, New Delhi. Welcome, Dr. Rashmi.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Doctor, so before we begin our talk, I want to ask you the secret behind your beauty, your fitness. You look so fit and that glass skin, I just want to know the secret behind that.
So thank you so much for the compliments. So basically, to look fit, you have to take care of your fitness both externally and internally.
Definitely.
Investing into your skin routine as well as also your health and fitness is of utmost importance. So everything goes hand in hand. Not only skin from outside, the journey begins from within. So everything has to be taken care of.
Yes, absolutely. Doctor, one more thing I want to ask you about you is, why did you choose this profession as a doctor and, why this specialization in dermatology?
So actually, I have to tell you the truth, my dad is a doctor.
Oh,
And everybody in my family is a doctor. So I thought baki kuch karungi to it would be more difficult because this was already trial and tested.
yeah.
But coming back to the same question, I was so fascinated by what my father does, the love of his patients towards him. So that actually attracted me so much into this profession.
Okay, so Dr. Rashmi, I've heard in a lot of interviews and, we have seen this through research that sun exposure is the leading cause of sun damage, like skin cancer. So what is your review about that?
Yeah, of course, you're right in saying that sun exposure leads to skin cancer, of course. In a way, I would say that we Indians are blessed because we have more of pigment-forming cells.
Correct.
So we are relatively protected against it, but of course not 100%. So sun exposure leads to skin cancer, but then you have sunscreen to protect yourself.
Absolutely. Doctor, there's one more question. As we have been seeing, there are a lot of sunscreens in the market, and the tinted sunscreen, the chemical sunscreen, physical sunscreen, and, the mineral sunscreens. I want to know what is the difference between all of them and what is the difference? How can one choose the right one for themselves?
See, basically, I would tell you that it's important to consult your dermatologist before you start your sunscreen journey.
Absolutely.
Because sunscreen, there's so many varieties of sunscreens available in the market. It's a tough call to take.
Correct.
It depends upon the formula of the sunscreen. It depends upon the ingredients of the sunscreen. It depends upon the protection which it is offering.
Absolutely.
And it also depends upon whether the sunscreen is sweat resistant.
Correct.
Or which climatic condition you are living in, which weather you are living in, what's your age, which strata you're falling into, what's your work profile like. So there are so many factors which should be considered before starting this sunscreen.
Yeah, the differences between majorly I want to know the difference between the chemical sunscreen and the physical sunscreen.
So sunscreen, imagine your sunscreen like a protection ingredient which you apply on your skin to protect yourself from sun exposure. So there are two ingredients, physical and chemical. So physical ingredients are your inorganic ingredients and chemical ingredients are your organic ingredients. So physical ingredients meaning your zinc oxide, titanium oxide. So these are the ingredients which offer you protection and they act like a shield. They act either by reflecting or scattering the sun rays.
Okay.
Then you have chemical ingredients which are like avobenzone, oxybenzone, octinoxate, salicylate. There's so many ingredients amongst it. So they act like a absorbing thing which absorbs the sunlight and protects you against the harmful rays of the sun.
तो मैम मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था, जो ये स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन I've seen usually cricketers, they apply some white this thing, so that's a physical sunscreen, is that a
Yeah, that leaves a white cast. So
Okay.
if you want to, if you have sensitive skin and you want to go on the sunscreen, which is you are not very careful about, you don't bother about the white cast which it leaves, then you can go for physical sunscreen.
okay?
So it's very good for people who are spending more time outdoors.
Is it good for children as well?
Exactly, I was going to say this to you. It's very good for children because children, they have sensitive skin. So in fact, the physical sunscreen is something which is scatters and so it is not absorbed. So it acts like a shield. So that's the reason it's so safe in pregnancy. And in fact, your skin is more sensitive while you're pregnant. So, and especially for children. So these two are the age group where we prefer physical sunscreen over the chemical ones.
I get it. Okay, Dr. Rashmi, I've heard somewhere that sunscreen can also remove tanning. Is that true? Somewhere sunscreen is it true? Like sunscreen can remove tanning as well?
Sunscreen actually prevents you from tanning.
Yeah, so you need to apply it before you're already
And
tan, right?
once you have gotten tanned, of course, it's not going to fasten up the process.
Correct.
But it will prevent the further tanning.
So, Dr. Rashmi, I want to ask you, how can one choose the ideal sunscreen for them, and what are the factors that one has to look in while choosing the sunscreen for their skin type?
So, well, ideal sunscreen, so you have to consider several factors, like look at the formula. What is this formula of the sunscreen? Whether it is comedogenic or whether it is non-comedogenic. So, ideal sunscreen should be non-comedogenic.
Okay.
Wherein it should not occlude the pores and it should not cause acne. Then the ingredients which are present in the sunscreen. So, whether the ingredients like, if you have acne-prone skin, so it should not have ingredients like soybean oil or mineral oil or beeswax or lanolin. So these ingredients can actually clog. So you have to look at the ingredients which are specifically for a particular need of the person. So somebody could have acne prone skin, somebody could have pigmentation concerns. So that should be added up in the ingredients.
Absolutely.
Then the type of sunscreen, like what type of sunscreen, whether it is a physical sunscreen or chemical sunscreen. So ideally we include sunscreen, not only physical and chemical. Now we have to look for UVA, UVB, visible light, your infrared rays and blue lights. So all nowadays the sunscreen are coming which are blocking all these lights, because the similar changes are also caused by these lights. So you have to consider the type of sunscreen which is blocking all of them.
Correct.
Then looking at the sweat resistance factor, whether there is sweat resistance is present in the sunscreen or not, because during the summer people are going for swimming activities and all. Then looking at the formulation, whether it's a spray based, gel based or water based. So there are so many factors which you have to consider. Now another important factor would be protection.
Correct.
So offering UVA protection, UVB protection, everybody is talking about SPF. But are we really talking about PA star rating also? So that is also something which has to be considered. So it's not only UVB, it's also UVA, which is equally important. So everything needs to be taken into consideration before you choose a sunscreen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Rashmi, for all these, important information, for giving us this important information on sunscreen. There's one more question that I have on my mind is, people usually, consider sunscreen only in the summer season because they think that, the sun is only affecting our skin in the summer season and not in winters and monsoon. So what is your take on that?
It's a myth.
It's a myth.
You have to wear sunscreen. The use of sunscreen is non-negotiable.
Okay.
You have to wear them on a sunny day, on a cloudy day, summer, winter, every season.
And even on in the night time.
See, moon screen is not much of a concern right now because we're not really advocating about the use of moon screen at present.
Yes.
There are not enough articles and evidence and literature support on that
Okay.
logic. But yeah, of course, sunscreen during the daytime is mandatory.
Okay, I get it. So, Dr. Rashmi, you just spoke about a PA plus rating on the SPF. So, can you please tell me what is it exactly?
So SPF is basically, the full form of SPF is sun protection factor.
Yes.
So sun protection factor is basically the protection which is offered by the sunscreen on the protected skin
Yes.
compared to unprotected skin. So it is minimum erythema dose of protected skin by minimum erythema dose of unprotected skin. So basically how many times is going to offer you protection? So if it is SPF 50, which means it is going to offer you 50 times more protection against UV rays compared to unprotected skin. Now, talking about another thing, which is PA star rating. So this is for sun protection factor is basically for UVB.
Yeah.
So PSR rating is for UVA. So this, if PSR rating is 5, which means the sun protection offered by UVA and UVB is equal.
Yeah.
So this is basically a balance between UVA and UVB protection. So if you call it as P star 3 rating, which means the value is 0.6 to 0.7. If it is 4-star rating, which means it's 0.7 to 0.89. 5-star rating is more than 0.9, which means both UVA and UVB protection is equal.
Okay, I get it. Doctor, as I was coming here, I was like really eager to know what is the correct way of applying a sunscreen, what quantity has to be taken, and how to, perfectly apply your sunscreen so that you have no sun damage on your face. Can you please tell me, doctor?
So ideally, can I use your sunscreen? And
Yes,
show the
yes,
viewer?
definitely.
So ideally, I'll just show you how much quantity is needed. So you open the sunscreen and you spread it on your finger. So this is the ideal quantity which is needed, which is we call it as 2-finger tip unit.
Yes.
And or you can say a half a teaspoon. So that's the quantity which is
We
needed.
need to measure it every day on a half a tea.
Yeah, that's difficult. So that's why
That's why this is by yeah, correct. Doctor, I usually apply the sunscreen the same way that you told me, the 2-finger rule. But I just take it over my hand and I rub it over my face. And is that the correct way to apply it? Can you please tell me more about how to apply it perfectly?
So when you rub it on the hand and then apply it, you're actually wasting half the quantity.
Yeah.
So it will be heavy on your pocket. So to keep it simple, you can use a tap technique where you take the sunscreen out and tap on the face and then massage or rub it on
Massage on
your
the face.
That's the best way to apply sunscreen.
Okay, I get. So, doctor, now we will be starting debunking some common sunscreen myths. And so the first myth that I have in my mind is, as you told me, that the sunscreen forms a layer on our skin. So, is it true that when it forms a layer and it reflects the sun UV rays, so it blocks this vitamin D absorption on the skin?
See, there are very limited literature support in this regard. Theoretically, there is this risk which is very low.
Correct. Okay.
But considering the UV rays and the vitamin D is not absorbed, but that does not negate the use of sunscreen against protection of skin cancer.
Okay.
So of course, still you have to use sunscreen. There are 2 factors which I will like to talk about. Number 1, it does not offer complete protection. Still, there are certain amount of sun rays which are going to be absorbed, and still vitamin D formation will happen. There are certain areas of the body where you're not applying sunscreen so much, where also the absorption can happen. Number 2, we have very limited literature support to say this. So of course, go ahead and use sunscreen.
Absolutely. Okay. Myth number 2 that we have is a tan is a sign of healthy skin. Is that true, doctor?
That's a myth. Tan is not a sign of a healthy skin. Of course, you tan because that's a sign of sun exposure.
Okay. Myth number 4 is SPF or 50 or more is like there's no difference between the SPF. That's what the studies has been.
See, I would say, like I mentioned, SPF 50 is for people who are spending more time outdoors.
Correct.
It provides a 50 times more protection compared to normal skin. And it blocks the UV rays 50 times more. So SPF 50 is the ideal sunscreen, and it is gonna absorb 99% of the UV rays.
Okay.
And if you talk about SPF 30, is gonna absorb 93%.
Okay.
And SPF 40, 97%.
Okay.
People usually equate SPF with the sun protection, that higher the SPF, better is the protection. Of course it is, but not as much, because if you look at the numbers of the filtration it offers, there's not so much of difference.
Okay. Doctor, there's one more thing that I would like to add in over here. People say that you do not need a sunscreen, when you're indoors, you're at home. Is that true? You don't need a sunscreen when you're at home?
This is a myth. You need a sunscreen even if you're indoors, because it's not only sun, it's also the screen.
Yeah.
Right? So screen time is so much for the people now, and their visible light and your infrared and all these light, you need sunscreen against them as well. And nowadays sunscreen are actually including ingredients which offers you protection against them. So you need sunscreen even if you're indoors.
Okay, even when you're sitting near the glass windows, right? We do have a...
You're seeing your mobile, you're using your laptop.
Yeah.
You need sunscreen.
Yes, definitely. The next myth that we have is the sunscreen washes off with water and sweat. Is it true?
Yeah, of course it does, because when you are exposed to sun and you're sweating a lot, it will get washed off. So in that situation, you need to wear a sunscreen which is sweat resistant or sweat proof.
Okay.
Otherwise, your sunscreen usually it's ineffective, or you reapply it.
Okay, we need to reapply it. So next to it, that comes me to the next question. So the next question is sunscreen once applied in the morning, lasts for 24 hours, and then you don't need to reapply it. Is it true? Is it a myth, or is it true?
You need to reapply sunscreen every 2 to 3 hourly because it is not effective after 2 hours. So ideally, you should repeat it every 2 hourly. So I tell my patients to apply it 15 to 20 minutes before going out in sun, like say about 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Then again, repeat it around 11 o'clock, and then again, repeat it around 2 o'clock.
Okay. Our next myth is sunscreen needs to be applied only on the face.
If you want your complexion to be different on the face and other parts of the body, of course, only on the face.
Of course, definitely. Okay, so being a female, I just wanted to ask this question. I'm very curious about it. That when I use the sunscreen, how to apply the sunscreen with the makeup? Like when I apply the sunscreen, I use the makeup on top of it.
Yeah, that's fine. But nowadays, makeup are also coming inbuilt with sunscreen.
Yeah.
So they also have sun protection factor. So you apply the sunscreen and then wear your makeup on the top.
Okay, so we also have this new concept of tinted sunscreen. What's your take on that?
I love that.
I love
Because
it. That's your skin but
Yes.
better kind of thing, right? Yeah.
So basically, because this offers a protection and it looks like you have applied a makeup, you don't need to wear anything else.
Yes.
And tinted sunscreen itself is complete.
Yeah, correct. Absolutely.
You're ready to go.
That's just one product that we need in our vanity. Correct.
Exactly.
Doctor, to get glowing and flawless skin, this new term that has been in the market, the Korean glass skin. So does diet and stress management also plays a role over here?
That plays a role not only on the skin, on the whole body.
Absolutely.
So when you diet, when you eat good food, your skin glows from inside. And when you exercise, your skin also shines. And that's a natural glow which you have, which nobody talks about, but that's really the mantra.
Correct.
If you diet and exercise and of course use sunscreen and do other rituals which your dermatologist is going to advise, then you will have a flawless skin.
Absolutely.
For sure. And in fact, other than using sunscreen, you can also include food items which are rich in antioxidant
Yes.
and can act like sunscreens for your skin.
Okay, can you tell me what kind of foods are you?
Vitamin A is your antioxidant and vitamin E is your antioxidant. So you can include diet rich in your avocado,
Yeah.
or you can lot of antioxidant, or your seeds and nuts, your walnuts. So these ingredients actually can help you in fighting the free radicals and help you get the glow.
Okay, Dr. Rashmi, so any tips that you would like to give to our viewers, any skin related tips, any skincare related tips, the perfect skincare, what it is, anything.
So I would like to say that skincare is not a fashion that you can choose in yourself, and keep experimenting and applying things and then discarding stuff. So whatever you apply on the skin should be chosen by your dermatologist. Everybody does not need to use niacinamide or benzoyl peroxide. There's so many active ingredients which people are falling into, and applying any new kid on the block, maybe a new product which is just being launched by an influencer and promoted by a celebrity,
Correct, absolutely.
is not gonna be serving very good for you. So be mindful of choosing your skincare ingredient and trust your dermatologist.
Absolutely. Doctor, what according to you is, the perfect, the skincare essential, the perfect steps of skincare?
So I really don't believe in a 10-step skincare routine because I feel people don't have generally don't have so much of time.
Correct.
So keeping it simple is the key. Don't jump into using 10 skincare ingredients or multiple layering of the skincare products. What I believe is keep it simple. Start with a cleanser. Now your cleanser would depend upon the type of skin you have, the pathological concern you have, the work you have. If you're using a lot of makeup, the single cleansing is not enough. You have to go for double cleansing, wherein the first layer, which is a micellar water base, which can actually remove the debris or oil debris, and then you can follow it up with the second step, whereas you can use a gentle foam based cleanser. Using after a cleanser, following it up with a moisturizer. Now moisturizer rich in ceramide or your hyaluronic acid, and a good ingredient as per your skin type, and has to be varying depending upon the season. So then protection, where I mean use your sunscreen.
Absolutely.
Now in the night time, it's more about protection and repair and rejuvenation.
Correct.
So then during that time, your dermatologist can actually tell you which cream you should indulge in, and depending upon your age and your skin concern. So that's the basic day and night care which I would recommend to all my viewers.
Absolutely. Doctor, do you think that stress management and the diet also plays a major role in, coming up to your skin and the skincare part?
Huge role. You look what you eat.
Yeah.
So, if
So
you
you
want
need to
look,
eat your skincare as well.
yes, you have to be mindful when you're eating.
Yeah.
So if you eat chola bhatura, of course, you're gonna that acne is gonna show up on your skin. So be mindful of eating, and choose your healthy food items, and choose food items which are rich in antioxidants,
Yes.
and which will help your skin repair and regenerate.
Mm-hmm.
So using antioxidant rich seeds and using fruits and indulging in fruits and vegetables can be a great addition, and then help your skin glow. Following a rainbow diet, we actually include all colorful food items.
Yes.
So if you, there's a
That's
study.
also fun to eat,
Yes,
right?
there's a study which
Yeah.
says if you use different colored food items, there are huge chances that you'll not miss on important ingredients.
Correct.
So follow that, and exercise, of course, because that releases happy hormones.
Absolutely.
So if you are happy from inside, you glow from outside.
Absolutely. So, doctor, is there any antioxidant, rich fruits that you would like to tell our viewers, fruits and vegetables that they should include in their diet for their
See,
skin?
not that I can name one single fruit like that, but of course, all the food items, like I said, multicolored and
Yeah.
rich in vitamins and minerals. Or you can include food items like salmon, which is rich in antioxidant, avocado,
Yes.
seeds, your nuts, your walnuts and stuff. So all these items can actually help your skin repair and regenerate.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Rashmi, for taking out your valuable time for us. And I know our viewers will benefit from the skincare advices that you have been giving us. And thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you so much, all the viewers. And for more skincare advices from the renowned dermatologists of India, please stay connected with us on our hashtag Sunscreen Must podcast. And we are available on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much.